Narcissist versus narcissist personality disorder. There is a type of personality in which very classical and very self-centered. It's called as narcissism, generally focus on things like wealth and power, and defined by a sense of entitlement. This type of personality comes in many different types. They are communal, malignant, adaptive, maladaptive, covert, and antagonistic. Besides, there is also the term of narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, which are a bit different with narcissism. You must underline that NPD is a type of mental health condition. It's generally characterized by need for praise, self-importance, and many other traits that will significantly impact on someone's daily life, self-image, and relationship. Moreover, someone with this diagnose can have several types of narcissism. In short, narcissism is personality while NPD is a mental health condition related to narcissism. Also, it's very possible for someone to have narcissistic tendencies and not the disorder, which leads tyem to be a high achiever in order to get praise all the time. In this video, we're going to explain about narcissism as personality versus disorder. Hope you guys enjoy this video, so make sure you watch it completely. Narcissistic personality traits versus disorder. As mentioned earlier that narcissism and NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, are a bit different. Remember that having narcissistic personality does not necessarily mean that you have narcissistic personality disorder. Also, the difference between these two comes down to how those are impactful on one's daily life. According to expert, NPD is one of the cluster B personality disorders in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, 5th edition, DSM-5. These are associated with dramatic, emotional, irrational, and erratic behavior. It's a mental health condition that requires a diagnose from professional to get help or treated. When someone is diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder, their narcissistic traits must impair functioning at almost every aspects in their life such as work, school, relationship, and can negatively impact self-esteem and identity. Whether they are apparent to others or not, NPD significantly influence on someone's ability to have healthy relationship either romantically or not. When it comes to attitudes and behaviors, someone diagnosed with NPD may not even recognize they are problematic. Also, there is no motivation to change those behaviors and attitudes. But in contrast, someone with narcissistic traits occasionally exhibit these behaviors and attitudes without much consequence, and they usually have awareness about this. It makes them open to change them and start being someone less problematic. As the conclusion, if you know someone who are very self-centered and other classical signs of narcissism, but they even don't realize that they are problematic, it means that the person may have NPD. Person with narcissistic tendencies. Someone with narcissistic tendencies shows several signs which are clear or not, but usually other people around can easily recognize it. If someone has narcissistic tendencies, they usually exhibit several traits like the need of praise and belief that others should admire them. However, these behaviors come and go. In many cases, those are also only present in some situations like particularly at work or school, and not in major life. That's why, the life and relationships not affected in a major, and negative way. There are many people with narcissistic tendencies who can succeed at work or school with these traits. These traits also may start to show traits in childhood and teen years. Other people can recognize traits as negative, but in the same time, the person can open to changing them. They have self-awareness and insight toward the traits, making them can be more positive in life, like being focused on things they should achieve. Last, someone with narcissistic tendencies also may be empathetic but may choose not to be at times. Person with narcissist personality disorder. We have talked about person with narcissistic tendencies, now you have known the signs, right? So let's talk about the person with NPD. The most obvious thing is that the traits are fundamental to their personality and can impact on their lives in major The behaviors of narcissism are also constant and applied across all situations, whether at school, family, relationship, work, and so on. Because the traits are significantly impair their life, someone with NPD has inability to have healthy relationships. NPD is diagnosed to someone who is age 18 or older, the threshold for diagnosis. Moreover, someone with NPD also never see the traits as something negative, or even does not have awareness and insight about the traits. It makes they are less likely to be open and willing to work on changing the traits. Unlike people with narcissistic tendencies, people with NPD has very little or no ability to empathize, may weaponizes empathy. They even can be sadistic. According to research, it's estimated that only up to 5% of the population meets the criteria for NPD. While the cause is not entirely understood, but it's thought to be related to a combination of factors like childhood trauma, genetics, and/or a person's living environment and upbringing. 4 core elements of narcissism. Narcissism has 4 core elements which are exhibited in someone's daily life. However, someone with NPD will often have all of these signs to a great extent, all the time, and in almost every aspect of lives. While, in someone with this tendencies but no disorder, may exhibit 1 or 2 with less degree and only at the certain times in life. So what are the core elements of narcissism? Here are the explanations. Grandiose feelings. The sense of superiority or grandiosity is often displayed by some with narcissism. These people often believe that they are entitled to special favors, praise, or admiration from others. Moreover, they sometimes can come off as arrogant person or condescending. They also may spend their time and energy to impress other people in order to get praise or admiration. They will work hard on outward displays of wealth, status, intelligence, or beauty. Extreme self-focus. When it comes to personal goal, someone with narcissistic traits will focus almost exclusively on themselves and their own goal. Usually, they talk about themselves constantly to other people, with less or no feeling of empath to others. This condition can be very challenging somehow, especially for relationships and intimacy as the interactions are only superficial in nature. Moreover, they also may exploit other people to achieve what they want. Inflated sense of self-worth. Talking about self-worth, people with narcissistic has inflated sense of self-worth, making them expect the special treatment from other people for no reason at all. They see themselves as someone superpower, special, unique, gifted, and deserving. That's why they usually brag about or exaggerate their accomplishments. Strong need for praise and recognition. Narcissism is also closely related to the strong need for recognition and praise. The fact is people with narcissistic traits generally struggle with their self-esteem and sense of identity, though their external image may not convey that. These people usually rely on other people to maintain the positive view of themselves, which makes to the overwhelming longing for praise and recognition. The external ego stalking is something important for them, and they need it constantly. Also, they will be obsessively jealous of someone else's accomplishments or positive traits.